I was the official mouse catcher here in the church.
Oh, really?
At one time there was a couple of mice in church here, so I set traps and would catch some mice.
Oh.
Okay, and when Don quit catching mice or picked up the deal, and Uncle Lawrence would give me a penny apiece for each mouse I caught.
They'd park their buggies over there, and then they'd walk across the church, and then and church was always at 8 and then at 10 o'clock.
Or 7 and 9 in the summer. 7 and 9 in the summer.
7 and 9 in the summer.
As we walked 2 by 2, I remember that's how we always had to walk from the school when it was time to go to Mass.
Yeah.
We walked 2 by 2 down the sidewalk. There used to be a sidewalk right here.
Yeah, right around the church.
Yeah.
What I remember about this rectory was where I got my first trombone lesson.
Oh.
Father Cooper came out at noon one day when we were at recess, and he says, "Would you like to play a trombone?" And, "Well, yeah, I'll try it." So he says, "Come on with me," and he brings me over here, and we go into this room right inside here. He says, "Well, here's a trombone, here's a beginner's book, and here's middle C on the piano." That was my instructions. And I turned out to be a lousy trombone player. Although I was lucky enough to get in the band when I was in service. And that was sure a lot easier than pulling guard duty.
And then when we had Mass, we always got to come over here and fill the cruets with wine. And then you had to make sure it was edible before you went back over to church.
What I remember too, when we were playing football, we didn't have any other facilities. There was a shower down here in the basement of the rectory, and that's where all the whole team showered down there. So you can imagine what that was like. I can remember when we'd get one day during school in the spring of the year where we'd bring our rakes down here, and everybody, we'd rake this whole doggone thing off.
Yes.
Oh man, I tell you, if you wanted blisters, why?
And mowing this.
Yeah, I mowed that too.
Push, the old-fashioned push mowers. How we mowed it. Always fun when we went to school here. You got to ring the bell, and if you pulled it real hard, it tipped over. And then you were the lucky one. You could crawl up and go up into the top up there and cupola and turn the bell back over.
This right up here was the room that I was in when before I left here. That was the last one.
Yeah.
Sister Doretta was my teacher
first 4 grades
time.
is on that side, and 5th through 8th.
I don't remember what the nun's name was when I was in the lower grades.
The only one I can remember is Sister Ferdinand.
Yeah.
She was high school.
And Sister Leticia.
Leticia, I remember her. I never had her, but Dorothy had her.
Sister Benigna.
Yeah.
Sister Dorita.
Callista.
Sister Marita.
Marita? Oh, I don't remember. I remember Marita Reisdorf. She was in my class. I never got into trouble. I was a good girl. I guess one thing I think I probably learned was my love for the music through Sister Doretta, because she was such a good singer and she was always having us sing or whatever, and I really did enjoy that part of it. And just the basis of our faith and everything that came out of here. I still really like when we have benediction, because that's something you don't have very often anymore, and it just is such a touching thing.
We had a nun used to play softball with us. Remember Bob Moorbach? And he drove an old Whippet.
Yeah.
And we went to Octavia one time, and she sat in there, and the nuns had hair pieces,
and he'd try to drive fast enough to see what color hair she had. And he never got the job done because she held on with both hands. They were smart. Gene Kozichek and I got in trouble for writing notes one day, and Gene had to go home, and Gene crawled out of that window there, got over to the downspout, and ran home. And because he ran home, then when the folks come, I had to stay 10 minutes after school, and then I got to go home. But Gene had to stay the next night a long time.